All right, so I sincerely don't know what I'm doing, but I was having some thoughts about, well, what it is I desire in life, and I only have one desire right now, and that's to be with my person. Um, so, as I'm defining that, I started to receive some channeled messages, and I was prompted to share. So, here they go. The divine masculine is the fireplace. The divine feminine is the shaft. The flue is her ego choosing connection or disconnection to the divine. The divine is the airflow above the chimney, which, when in harmony, these things work together to draw the manifested flame up from the DM through the DF out to the collective. When the divine feminine flue is closed, it doesn't matter how much flapping she does to manifest the flame, she will not be able to start the fire. This leaves the DM burnt out, frustrated, agitated. When the DF opens her flue to allow trust, faith, hope, and even the more tumultuous power feelings of anger, frustration, depression, even and indignation, the airflow above begins to flow through her as she begins to stand in her purpose, capital P purpose, which is not, as she thought it might be, music or teaching or coaching or art or real estate or farming, but rather just being true to her design, to be rooted in the now moment, honoring both the wind at her back, which animates her, and the inevitable flame that rises before her as a monument, a testament, evidence of the power of the wind above. Not, as she erroneously concluded before, the other way around. Oh, look, here's this person, here's this being. Maybe there is something, maybe there is. This is the, anyway. I have been incorrectly looking to the external to provide me with my connection to the divine, rather than trusting my connection to the divine with what happens in my external. Okay. So now here she stands with open arms, not hoping for a flame, but sure in her purpose to be the open channel through which the winds of change blow. Animated by this wind that is whooshing past her at ever-increasing speeds, which is a nod to the collective and how these feelings are mirrored intensely in the collective at the moment. So I'm going to restart that sentence. Animated by this wind that is whooshing past her at ever-increasing speeds, many chimneys on many roofs all over the world beginning to sing and whistle lullabies, calling in their flames, she begins to dance. First tentatively, then with increasing enthusiasm and delight with the world around her. She remembers the melody as she begins to see sparks of familiarity strike before her. She is not bound to this flame any more than this flame is bound to her. They dance and blaze of their own accord at any moment. The divine feminine can light the fire, and the divine masculine can open the flue. We are not kept apart by each other. We're not kept apart at all. Ever. We discover our purpose and our power as we learn that when we connect to the wind above, that in fact we have the entire mechanism at our disposal. Flame and flame is needed, open or closed flue, which corresponds to the crown chakra, as desired. This, of course, can be viewed as the divine masculine, divine feminine balance within the self, but also as within, so without. Just connecting in for a moment to see if there's anything else that wants to be shared. When the divine feminine is open to her source, the divine masculine flame ignites and is visible within the external instantly. Just because you don't see physical union does not mean that the entire mechanism is not working. You may not see the flame, you may not feel the connection to the divine, but if you are rooted in your purpose, and you'll know that by your sense of power and internal balance, trust that it's working. Whether or not you see it working out here, if you feel it working, trust that it's working. So that's where the channel ends, the message ends, and we are being called to trust. No matter how bad it might look. Namaste.